MMA Locker Room here with Pick Dawgz, and I'm going to be going over this week's UFC Fight Night card. All the 12 fights headlined by Brendan Allen taking on Chris Curtis. I'm going to give you guys my picks, my predictions, and hey, my best bets. So let's go ahead and get it started. All right, man. Look, UFC bet with me. We're back, folks. Last week, we had UFC Atlantic City, okay? We had a few picks that didn't go our way, but hey, man, we still came out on top and we got paid. So let me know exactly. How'd you guys do last week, man? Did you guys underdogs come through? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, let me know exactly who you guys looking at to bet on this week. You guys got some good, decent fights on there with some good price tags. I think some dogs are live. You got some old veterans mixed in the card. So let's go ahead and get it started. First fight of the night, Melissa Mullins, 6-0, taking on Nora Cornolle. All right, Melissa Mullins opened up a -240. Now she's all the way up to a -300 favorite. Her last time out, she was able to get her win in her UFC debut. And the fight went the distance. Cornolle, her last time out, she fought Jocelyn Edwards in a fight that everybody thought that she lost, but the judges gave it to her. I'm going to be honest, man. I like Mullins in this spot. Cornolle is just a type of grappler that wants to get you down to the ground. Mullins, she's not the best overall, but she has that it factor. She has that savage in her. Good striker. She can mix in the takedowns. She's not going to stay on top for too long. Good takedown defense. I think she gets the job done in this one. And hey, I think Melissa Mullins wins by decision. And that's the prediction for this one. All right, next fight on the card. Dylan Budka, 7-2, taking on Cesar Almeida. All right, Budka opened up a -160 favorite. He made his UFC debut on the Contender Series in a boring fight. A boring fight that Dana White even said it afterwards. He said, hey, man, I'm giving you the contract, but this was one of the worst fights that he's seen, or the most boringest one. Cesar Almeida made his UFC debut on the Contender Series 2. Kickboxer, Muay Thai type of striker, right? He was able to get the win in there and get the contract in there. An older fighter, but he has a win over Alex Pereira, in the kickboxing. I think Cesar Almeida should be able to get this one done in there. I like the dog in this one. Yes, Budka's going to be the grappler, the one that's going to mix in the takedowns and try to keep you down to the ground. Almeida could actually mix in reversals and end up out on top like he did in his Contender Series. The judges and the referees, they're not judging grappling and takedowns no more. It's all about strikes and damage. I think Cesar Almeida gets this one done. I like the dog in this one. I'm going to go ahead and take Cesar Almeida to get it done by decision. Let's go ahead and get that plus money price tag on there. All right, third fight on the card. Gene Matsumoto, 14-0, representing Brazil, taking on Dan Argueta, 9-1. All right, let's talk about Matsumoto. He opened up a -200 favorite. Now money's coming in on Argueta. He's down on -175. I like Matsumoto in this spot, man. Clean striker, jiu-jitsu specialist, great with wrestling, solid takedown defense. Dan Argueta, he's been on the wrong side of, his last two fights? Been ruled no contest, I want to say. But he's a wrestler out there. He's going to try to push the pace, mixing the takedowns. I see some people thinking he's live in this spot. I get it, man. He averages 2.5 takedowns per fight. But the striking numbers on Matsumoto is going to add up. So that's why I like Matsumoto in this spot. Actually, coming down to a -180, -170 where he's sitting at right now. I like Matsumoto in this spot right here to go ahead and get the win and extend it to 15-0. I also like that fight to go the distance in that one. Next fight taking place. Cynthia Calvillo, 9-6-1. Taking on Piera Rodriguez, 9-1. Piera Rodriguez opened up a -155. She's all the way down to a -135. Cynthia Calvillo is on a 4-fight losing streak. Look, folks, she contemplated retirement. She quit during a fight already. And it's just been like one of those things to where the fight IQ, she doesn't fight the way that she knows to win. So you can't trust her. Piera Rodriguez, man, I've been following her for a while now, man. She actually had some good fights on the regional scene, in LFA and stuff like that. She's a good striker, but she does struggle with takedowns. And that's the one thing that Cynthia Calvillo is great at, is takedowns. If Cynthia Calvillo put together a good enough game plan to go for the takedowns all throughout the fight, she could be a live dog in the spot. But Piera Rodriguez, man, the striking numbers, she's throwing power. She's, she's out there. She's the younger fighter. She's going to have pretty much the same amount of reach in here. I actually think that Piera Rodriguez could get some takedowns and mix up this fight too. Let it be known. I like Piera Rodriguez in this spot. There's no way I could trust Cynthia Calvillo being on a 4-fight losing streak and just looking how she did in all of her last couple of fights. Women, as they get older, they usually don't come back hungrier and better, okay? Next fight on the card. Oh, nope, that one got canceled. The Alatang versus Victor Hugo fight is off, folks. So now let's go ahead and bring it on over to the Norma Dumont taking on Jermaine Randamie. Norma Dumont, 10 wins, 2 losses, taking on Jermaine Randamie, 10-4 in the UFC. All right, Jermaine Randamie, 4-year layoff, just had a baby. Now she's coming back to the UFC. Fight resume, I mean, she fought the best people in the division, and, you know, she just didn't get her hand raised, but she held the belt at one time. Norma Dumont opens up a -160 favorite. Actually, she was a -200 favorite. Now down to a -160 in there. 6-2 in the UFC, I want to say. Don't really got too much bad to say about her, man. I like Norma Dumont in this spot. I made money with her last time out against Chelsea Chandler in here. I think Norma Dumont can make some of the takedowns, you know, and he actually, you know, win by sub. A sneaky play. Norma Dumont by sub. All right, but look, in here, decent striker, but the strikes landed per minute. Got to go in favor for Dumont. Fight IQ, I'm going to go with Randamie on this one. But overall, there's no way I'm trusting a fighter who's been on a 4-year layoff. And Norma Dumont, I mean, I know what I'm getting with her in the cage. Randamie, she hasn't fought since 2020. She's going to be the more taller girl. She's going to have the longer reach in there, but she's going to be the older fighter in there. Orthodox versus orthodox in here. I think Norma Dumont should be able to get it done. My pick, Norma Dumont wins by decision. I'm going to sprinkle on a sneaky sub, though, man. You just never know, man. All right, next fight taking place in the welterweight division. Man. Blast from the past. Alex Morono, 23 wins, 9 losses. Taking on Court McGee, 22-12. Court McGee. I remember watching this guy fight on the Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez card. They had Tito Ortiz on our card, Diego Sanchez too, and some other fighters. But yeah, I was at that event. It was in Anaheim a long time ago, man. All right, let's get down to it. Alex Morono opened up a -260. He's all the way up to a -300 now on the books. Court McGee, +245 on him. All right, older fighter is going to mix in the wrestling, mix in the takedowns. You can't really trust him. He's been knocked out in both of his last fights. Alex Morono, man, he's shaky, folks. They call him like the Great White and stuff like that. Let's give him his accolades. He averages 5-point strikes per minute. You know, takedown, he's not going to really do anything with that. He's overall good at some things, okay? If you take him down to the ground, he might lay down there and try to submit you and, you know, get the jiu-jitsu going. So that's one thing that Court McGee can get in his favor. But Court McGee, ever since I've seen him in his last couple of fights, he's not looking like he's trying to go out there and win. He's just looking like he's in the cage and, hey, this is a fight. Alex Morono at a -220, -200, okay. But a -3-1 favorite? Nah, man, I can't put my money on him, man. Not in this economy days. But the pick is Alex Morono. I do think he gets it done in a fight that I think goes the distance in this one. Next fight, man, we got some bangers to talk about. Let's talk about him. Charlie Campbell, 8-2, taking on Trevor Peek. Charlie Campbell's a -190 favorite. Opened up at a -200 favorite. I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. I like him in this spot. He made his UFC debut on the Contender Series, and he lost to Chris Duncan. But they were going at it in that fight, and he just got caught. He's a guy that he loves to strike with the strikers out there. He can mix in the wrestling when he wants to, you know, and make it a lot easier to fight against Trevor Peek. Trevor Peek is out there throwing hammers, though, man. Like, he's one of those guys that's just gonna let it all out, knocking out people on the regional scene, coming to the UFC, went the distance in his last fight out, showing that, hey, he could actually go the 15 minutes. The cardio does slow down as the fight goes, but he has a chin on him, and he's going to throw. I like both of... No. I'm not a real Trevor Peek fan like that. I do give him his credit, though. I like this fight not to go the distance, and I like Charlie Campbell to win inside the distance as well in this one. But Trevor Peek is live, folks. He's a live dog, man, because Charlie Campbell's going to brawl. He's going to stand him right in front of you. And Trevor Peek, when he gets hit, he's going to throw out the fucking kitchen at you. You know what I mean? The kitchen sink, the dishwasher, and everything, you know? So take it as you want. And here, I like Charlie Campbell. I actually played him in this spot at a -180. But looking at it, he's just the overall better fighter in here. And I think he should win. Let's go ahead and get it on. Walter Walker, 11-0, taking on Lucas Brzeski, 8-4-1. All right, Walter Walker is the brother of Johnny Walker. Okay, he's been fighting people on the local scene out there, and you can't really trust it too much. He's a minus 300 favorite, but the money's coming in on Brzeski, and he's down to a minus 280 in here. I think Walker gets it done in here. This is a setup fight. Brzeski is 0-3 in the UFC. The UFC is giving him a gift right here, saying, hey, if you can't beat him, I'm sorry, folks, but we're going to use you as a stepping stool. And I think he should be able to step on him, mix in the takedowns, and make this a lot easier fight for him as well. If this does go to the later rounds, he's probably going to lose. But I think Walker does get this one done in here. Look, this is one of these fights, folks. When you see the price tags, don't just hop on big price tags and think they're going to win because it's a big price tag. Because trust me, there's better price tags on here that I've seen that's way lower than this, than Parlay and Walter Walker, and just thinking that it's bulletproof. But the pick is Walter Walker. I think he gets it done. All right, next fight. Ignacio Bahamondes, 14-5, taking on Christian Giagos, 20 wins, 11 losses. Bahamondes is a minus 300 favorite, okay? All the way up to a minus 360. His last fight out, he dropped the ball, man. He fought Ludwig Klein, and he just lost, man. In a fight that he was a favorite in, and, you know, it's one of those things, a young fighter, you know. Striking is good. I really like him a lot. Christian Giagos, you know what you're going to get with him. He's going to try to get you down to the ground and, you know, get the jiu-jitsu and the grappling going in there. Tough fighter, tough veteran in the sport. I think Bahamondes gets this one done. Man, I like Bahamondes, but at this price tag, it's just a little bit, man, I'm a little bit worried about it. Yes, I am. If it was 240, 250, all right, I could sleep with that. Minus 360 and you lost for his last time out. Man, it gets a little iffy, but I'm going to be honest, man. I got that saying, stick to your guys, stick to your gut, and stick to your guns. Bahamondes, he's kind of my gut feeling in this one, so I'm going to stick with it, man. I also got the NFT of him, too, the Silver Striker. That thing's worth like 80 or 70 bucks, man. Got to feel like cheap, though. So let's go ahead, man. Bahamondes should be able to get this one done, and I'm going to say a late third round finish or by decision. Next fight, this one's a banger alert, banger alert. Morgan Charriere, aka the Last Pirate, 19-9, taking on Mariscal, 15-6. All right, now the line had Morgan Charriere open up a minus 155. Okay, now he's all the way down to a minus 125. Made his UFC debut on the UFC Paris card, won by kicking the dude in the body, back to back to back. Got the job done, man. I've been following this guy for a while since he was on Cage Warriors, okay? He has a big following behind him. But this is the thing. In the fights that he's supposed to win, he doesn't. You know, he has a lot of losses on his career. You know, the fight resume is there. Mariscal, I've been following him too for LFA before he came into the UFC. I remember calling it after his last LFA fight saying, yeah, he should be in the UFC after this one, man. He's a dog, man. He's out there. Upset Trevor Peek, upset Jack Jenkins. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I like both of these fighters. It's hard for me to pick which one. I've been following Morgan longer, but that don't mean anything. I think the dog in Chepe is live that in any fight, he's going to go out there and try to put your lights out and win. But Morgan, I think, has more paths to victory in here, okay? He's averaging 6 strikes per minute in the ring. You know, doesn't have any takedowns. If Chepe goes for the takedowns, he can make this a little bit easier. But I think Morgan can keep this on the feet. And I think Morgan fought people like Chepe before. And he, you know, he should be able to put together a game plan to get the win. I like both these fighters in there, folks. But I'm sticking with my first gut. And I'm going with Morgan, the Last Pirate, Charriere, to get it done. And I think in this one, I think both men are durable. So I think this fight's going to go the distance. Yeah, if not, I say Morgan wins in the third round, attacks the body and gets it done. All right, next fight taking place. Alexander Hernandez, 14 wins, 7 losses, taking on Damian Jackson, 22-6-1. Alex Hernandez a minus 200 favorite in here, man. Damian Jackson, the comeback in, plus 175. Damian Jackson, shout out to you, man. Did a lot of interviews with you, man. You know, but in this one, I gotta give a pick and a prediction. Both these guys get tired as the fights go. Both these guys really can't trust with your money. Alex Hernandez, though, I think he should be able to get it done in here. I think he wins by KO and gets the knockout in here. Damian Jackson is real chinny. And Alex Hernandez, in those first 5 minutes, he's trying to put everything on that he can. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the knockout in first round. If it goes to the second and third round, I'm being honest, I think Damian Jackson's going to be able to turn it around in there and mix in the takedowns and, you know, maybe just get Hernandez down to the ground in there. Ah, man. Yeah. I think Alex Hernandez gets it done, but I wouldn't be surprised if Damian Jackson could surprise people, man. In this one, I'm going to say it, though. I think the dog is out the cage. I think Damian Jackson could surprise some people, man. But my first initial read was on this one is I think Alex Hernandez could get that KO win, you know, in this one. So I'm going to stick with that one, you know. Main event time. Brandon Allen, 23 wins, 5 losses, taking on Chris Curtis. 31 wins, 10 losses. All right, folks. This is a rematch time. Rematch time. And Brandon Allen's the favorite, minus 200. To the guy that he lost who got knocked out by Chris Curtis. All right. Since then, I think Chris Curtis is 2-2 in the UFC. But Brandon Allen's been turning around. I think he's like 4-0 and 5-0 since they fought. Brandon Allen's the guy that wants to get you down to the ground, okay? His striking, he's not the best striker out there, okay? He's going to try to pick you up out from the pocket, not engage in a war. Chris Curtis, though, he's the guy. Boxing guard up, Philly shell, you know, rolling off the punches, attacking the body. You know, great striker in there, dynamic dog whenever he fights. I think Chris Curtis could stuff the takedowns from Brandon Allen and win again, man. You know, he has the coaching of Eric Nixick right there in his corner at the apex, yelling out the instructions, do this, do that. I think that's going to pay dividends, especially in between the rounds, you know. In between the rounds, he doesn't make that many fight adjustments, but he listens to his coach in his corner, and it gets to the point to where at this stage of your career, you just really want to win. And if it ain't going your way, I think Chris Curtis could just pull off the upset and, you know, pull off another KO by attacking the body in there. So I think Chris Curtis could get it done in here. Brandon Allen, though, does have a recipe to success. You know, fighters was able to take Chris Curtis down and hold him down, you know, the ones that were. If Brandon Allen can get him down, I think he could submit him. My official pick is Chris Curtis, but I'm going to say this fight doesn't go the distance. It's not going to see the 5 rounds. And, yeah, man, Chris Curtis could get it done. The dog's out the cage in that one. All right. Now, look. I got a bulletproof parlay to get you paid, okay? All right, we're going to take Ignacio Bahamondes. Okay, that's leg number 1. And then we're going to take my girl in the first fight, man. We're going to take Melissa Mullins. Parlay those two and get you paid. Meet me at the book. Meet me out the window. Let's get paid. UFC bet with me. Who you guys betting on? Hit the like. Hit the subscribe so you know when we go live over here at Pick Dawgz. MMA Locker Room. Hey, if you guys want to check out some more interviews and stuff like that for some of these fighters on this card, check out my interviews on YouTube. I got some exclusive content for you guys. Until then, see you guys later. Millz Young here, part of Pick Dawgz. If you can't roll with the Pick Dawgz, stay on the porch.